The president of the Manitoba Métis Federation, David Chartrand, just turned birthday.
How are you doing there, eh?
Oh, pretty good. How about you?
Oh, very good. Always good. You know, I was quite impressed with your mimicking there of the legendary, he's now passed on,
Johnny Paycheck.
Yeah, you did a superb job. I was very impressed.
Well, thank you so much.
I have to keep on listening to see if you're just joking and you actually put somebody else on. Maybe him. Serious. I kept on listening harder to make sure. And you did a superb job. And the Cowboy didn't even compliment you. Cowboy, what's wrong with you, man? You should have complimented him. That was a beautiful copycat of Johnny Paycheck. Yeah, so I was very impressed, Ray. I'll tell you that.
Oh, thank you so much. I had fun doing that.
No, it was really well done. And that's why I said you don't play a lot of your other music enough. You play the traditional songs over and over that everybody is accustomed to you, but you got such other great music you never play. So, anyways, let's get to some business here. Let's see what I should take on first. First, I want to commend a young boy that phoned wishing his grandpa a happy birthday. I forgot his name. I should have wrote it down. I was sitting in the living room listening, and but it's good to see young people get on the line and wish their grandpa and their parents or anybody close to them best wishes or happy birthday. And then hearing the people that get on the line, I just listen carefully to a lot of our callers, a lot of them. But it's a place for them to really come and say hi to people and tell people, remind them, don't forget me, call me, I'm lonesome here. So it's definitely a way of reaching out to the people, and that's why this Métis Hour has been so successful for us. And as I said, this is Ray, 21, 22 years now. Yep. And that MMF has paid for the show, and we keep it going. I know you guys always say put commercials, pay the bills, but they don't pay our bills because we have to pay a bill to MMF, to NCI to have this show on there. So, but it's actually meant for that, and also to give updates. And we did a question survey out there to people on some of their top concerns or issues that they'd like to ask the president directly. And what I saw when I started reading some of the questions that were being posed by some citizens, some of them were the same over and over. Like one person asked 8 questions. So I said I'll be answering them on video after. And but the point is, go to the show, go to Métis Hour. That's the purpose of the show. Ray and I have been on the show now for 22 years. I probably can count in one hand how many times I've missed the show. And every 12 o'clock, I give a full update and report what's going on in our nation. So people get to know, people know what the issues are, where the strategy is of our nation, what are some of the top issues that are confronting our citizens, where are we moving on certain factors that directly affect our families. So we're trying to push that for people. That'll be one of the things I'll be echoing to a lot of the questions that were posed. Like, don't forget to go to Métis Hour. You'll hear a lot of this on the Métis Hour. And so for our citizens, I know I get a lot of calls on the compliments of the show. In particular, they do like my reports, and some people may say, why it goes on too long? Well, there's a lot to report, trust me. So yesterday I had an economic meeting with all the team, and Ray, we're up to 800 houses being purchased already.
What? 800
families are buying houses already. So it is one of the best programs that hit the market. We surpassed even Canada. This shows you the Métis out there that are working and just need that little break, that little heads up, that little head start, Yeah. And so that's over 1,000 Métis citizens that are now having a roof over their head and an asset to the future they could leave for their children. So I'm so proud of our people and just in general, it's our citizens who gave us the direction to do that. Like throughout the consultations we've had for years now, they've always said to us at MMF, trying to find a way to help us buy a home, get a home, and have something we can call our own. So these programs are real, and we'll get on. Our minister is doing a superb job. He gave an update on that. But just the capital acquisitions and houses and buildings, the daycare centers that we're building, we have over 183 capital assets of lands and buildings now in the province. And as I said, it's growing, and you hear the people that are very proud of it. But we also hear on the Métis Hour, I know you have to put on your glasses to read all the job advertisements that come up. There's so much more coming, Ray. There's so much jobs coming up. And I plead to our students out there and to our family and our young kids that are looking for careers in the future. I say kids, but they're already, a lot of them, they're in their 20s, But we're asking them, make sure you don't set aside childcare is not a career. it's a very good career. It's a very good paying job, and it's in the permanent employment you have for the rest of your life, and you definitely can carry your family very well into the future. So I know you talked about March, again, that program. I think Kerry and Tracy and Sharon are working on this. And again, I thank Minister Chartrand for that, and John Furry, of course, the minister on the other side. But we're looking and putting as many classes as possible to get our people into the child care field. Because this, as I said, good paying job, permanent jobs. And we're going to have to be hiring 200 to 300 within the next several years. So again, those are the people that'll probably get a net start and get a down payment to buy a house. So it is such a great program that the federation has been rolling out, and the response from the citizens are, tears are shed and hugs and thank yous and thank yous and thank yous. So because that's just a dream to own a home and to be there. So I'm just so proud of our people. I just can't say enough of that. And our team, Lou Riel has done a superb job, and Leah LaPlante is leading that part of that field and sitting on that board forever. Muriel Parker used to sit on that board, but of course she quit politics because of health, and I'm sure she's proud of hearing some of the updates that are happening here. But now another business, I had a very good meeting with the new Minister of Mental Health for the province. I was very quite pleased with her personality. Her name is Sarah Guillemard. So she is a new mental health and community wellness. And I did advise her that's what we're heading to as a federation. We're looking, and I said, the sad part about it is that we get no support from the province. This new premier is wanting to make change. He wants to look at a new relationship. I know we have a solid relationship with both the Liberals and the NDP, and we've been advised very clearly directly from the premier. She wants reconciliation. She wants to work with the Métis Nation. She wants to get rid of the past history and all the negativity that occurred between ourselves and the previous premier, and move forward. Because the Métis are hard-working taxpayers, and we damn well deserve to get our taxes back given to us. So, but that meeting went very well because there's a lot of mental anguish out there, a lot of struggle, a lot of stress for a lot of people right now, especially, like even the stress I went through. I'll just give you examples so people can know that I can feel it too and I understand it. When my grandson was in hospital just a few weeks ago, and I thank all the people for their prayers, I couldn't even go see my grandson. Mm-hmm. What if he never came out? And I pray to God that our prayers were answered and he came out. My daughter hung in there right through no matter what. And so, but it was just to see that, I just imagine the many, many families. Robert Goodry, and his wife Roland were in hospital, and Robert's still in hospital, Roland's out. But, Robert Goodry is one of our past leaders. Right. I'd love to have gone to see him and give him a hug in hospital. My wife used to call him old Blue Eyes. Mm-hmm. And but you look at it, the hardship for families, that they can't go in hospital to see their loved ones, and before they know it, the person passes on and left all alone to die in that hospital, So I understand the mental anguish and the grief, and I expressed that very clearly to Sarah, the new minister, and I said, look, with or without you, we're going to do something. MMF is going to build either a facility, and we're actually looking at that right now, and I'm waiting for the paperwork to be concluded. And we are going to look at Breezy Point just outside of Selkirk there, and we're going to build a facility for drug and addictions and also for mental health. And so it is a big agenda item for us, and Frances is the Minister responsible for health, and she definitely knows that's a priority for myself as a leader, and they're going to make sure that that's put on the agenda. So when you start looking at it from that concept, there's so much happening. And Ray, I was talking in a show here about micro businesses, and again, I want to express that loud and clear, micro businesses, meaning the small mom and pop shop, the farmers, even the fishers, blueberry pickers, the artisans that make all of these beautiful mucklucks and slippers and mitts and just beading and all of these different types of products that are out there, wild rice, you name it, to honey and maple syrup. And so what we were going to do now is continue to push on that commodity. And we see, I was at the last Vice President meeting I had just a week ago, there was an advertisement put out in our website it's just one of many advertisements, but one of them was to send you a full package to make a slipper. And that means the beads in the thing. 400 applications right away.
Wow.
Just boom, like that. In not even a week, people were just applying all over. They wanted to get the package, but it was only designed for the Southeast. And Vice President Thomas was up in arms. They're, holy man, my staffer is just panicking here because they don't have 400 of these things. But it just shows you the desire and the aspirations of many of our young people and our elderly or middle-aged that are at home and really want to get back into their culture and going back to the beauty of who we were, the flower beauty people, So I have a big announcement to make here. It's coming up in February, the official announcement. The name yet will be chosen. But I already spoke on the show of looking at this particular micro business to start to develop it for our Métis citizens out there. And in February, we plan to announce officially sometimes in February that the Métis government will start to buy fur again. We'll be buying beaver, we'll be buying muskrat, other fur from our Métis harvesters and trappers out there. And there'll be quotas because there'll be some limits. But we are going to be buying, I think beaver now you get $5 or $10. We're working on a number which is going to be quite feasible for a trapper. Same thing with muskrat. I think you get 50 cents or maybe if you're lucky 10 cents. But we're going to bring up the numbers quite substantially into a point where the harvester, the trapper is happy. We're going to take now this product and give it to our artisans, sell it to our artisans through our different business arms to make sure artisans have fur. And they have the beaver pelts where they can make beautiful mitts and stuff of that nature, right? So caps, et cetera, et cetera. So this is what microbusiness is all about, and we're going to evolve that. So think of it. In the 1800s, we were producing and trapping and selling our fur, exchanging our fur in the United States and all over the different commodities of change we did have. So MMF is going to announce in February, once they're working on the details of it right now, but spring trapping is coming. So we're looking at people out there, Métis trappers, if you're out there, get back into your trap line, go into your shed, start dusting out all your traps that have been hanging there, not being used because there was no money in it. There'll be some money now you can earn, and I know it'll make, I tested it out for a few people asking some trappers, and they were so excited. Not even about just making the money, but just to be out there again, and because people just love it. It's like fishermen, right? They don't really make a lot of money, but they just love being out in that lake and producing and being economically driven by their own economy that they control. So again, it's just another example for what we're doing. That the MMF is still going out and expanding our services, expanding our opportunities. And I know that many trappers right now, the word is going to go out very fast, like Marks and Telegraph is fast in our community, and it'll be going out. Did you hear what MMF is going to do? They're going to be buying fur. So you'll see they'll be take off like wildfire. So again, trappers, get ready. MMF is going to be announcing it in February. I'm working on the details, and I know my cabinet's very happy. And so I told that to Will. I said his dad, although he made very well for himself financially, running many businesses, he was still a trapper. And I said he passed on now. He probably would have been just jumping up for joy at 80-something years old trying to go out in the trap line. So when you look at it, I'm very proud of that. That's part of our traditional economy, same thing like fishers. And so the report we also got is, I think L'Oreal gave me, they got $6.9 million, or is it more than that? They give it out to farmers and ranchers and trappers and businesses. So I'm very, very proud, again, of the work they're doing there. So, again, we're making sure we help all aspects of our economy, and I'm very, very pleased with that. Also, I had a good meeting with Archbishop Gagnon and also Archbishop Lagat, the two different issues. Richard Gagnon is the Archbishop, of course, and we were meeting with him regarding the trip to the Pope. We're looking at April to take a delegation to meet with the Pope and His Holiness, and at the same time have a good discussion on the future of where we see the Catholic Church in our communities, where we see the need for it to either get more advanced in this concept where the churches are closing down and some of them are going up for sale. And a lot of our people are very worried about it. They want the church to be there when there's a funeral. They want the church to be there when there's baptisms and marriages. So we got to make sure we raise it to the Pope. And I'm going to be pushing the Pope to see if he'll come to see and bless the L'Oreal gravesite. And that's something I'll be asking the Pope. So that's April is what my last discussion with Richard. They haven't confirmed it yet, but they're working on that particular time frame. So hopefully everything works out well, and we'll be able to get in front of the Pope and His Holiness and express to him our issues and our concerns, and at the same time, how do we repair the damage of the past, but how do we introduce the future future for all of us. So, and like that, the Archbishop of St. Boniface, I had a very good meeting with myself, Denise Thomas. That one is about the St. Malo Grotto, and I spoke on it on the show already. We're getting actually replacement of the statue of Jesus that's now been weathered out in the grotto. And if people have never seen the St. Malo Grotto, I'm telling you, it's a place to see. Denise is very proud of the work that's being done by again, through Kerry's department, Tracy, where we hire students to go out and work and clean up the grotto. It's a beautiful, peaceful place to be at, to go and pray and sit there. But the Jesus has been very weathered, and we've now got a statue that we've purchased of a new Jesus, a 10-foot size Jesus, and a cross of wood that will be made from Jordan. And we're working on that to be delivered sometime in the spring. So we're looking at trying to organize a date with the Archbishop and have a big gathering there for all those that really want to see or have their ability to go to a pilgrimage and again, do their prayers and Assumption of Mary and all, and of course the Virgin Mary. So again, I'll keep people posted on that, where we're at on that aspect. We are still negotiating our land claim in our treaty. That's moving ahead forward with the Government of Canada, and I look forward to the continued growth on that. Now, before I go to birthdays and then condolences to some of the loved ones we've lost, some of you have probably seen an article in the paper where MNC is filing a statement of claim, and they're saying they're going to sue me for $16 million in Clement, and they name a bunch of people in there. What people aren't realizing, those are staff, those are employees of the Métis National Council. So it's unbelievable that there's no equating that $16 million to nothing. There's no money missing. You can see that in their statement of claim. There's no money missing. But they're saying the damage done to their image and their reputation is worth $16 million. So they're just throwing a big number from the air. There's no real money missing anywhere. In fact, the money was well spent. And a lot of these people, for example, Ray, and it upset me a little bit on the way they treated Clement. Clement has been, and these people, especially today, that are out there benefiting from the work that Clement and I did. We bought $3.4 billion to all these provinces now that are trying to sue us. And got the money from our hard work. And all those staff that worked so hard to get there, a lot of them have spent 30 years of their lives helping the Métis Nation grow. So, and yet they're going to sue them now. So I'm saying I shouldn't have settled with them. I got expert advice of how you settle. People have spent 30 years of their life working there. And from Ottawa, we got advice from experts. And so when you look at it, at the end of the day, when they chastise us giving a watch to Clem after 18 years as the president, 30, 40 years fighting for Métis rights across the nation, for people living in a van, sleeping in a van. Nobody had money to pay him. He was fighting for hunting rights. And they'd feed him. They'd give him sandwiches and tea and let him wash up in the morning. He'd sleep in his van. And he'd be in court on his own with no money. And these greedy people today, they're saying you should never give him a watch. What, I should have given him a bologna sandwich? Imagine 20, 30 years of your life, 40 years, really for Clement, and I'm supposed to not honor him? It is unbelievable. That's how desperate they are to see. But the key issue for my people listening right now, it's not about this. They know there's no money missing, none whatsoever. The veterans file, they know it's not missing, not a penny's missing. What they're trying to do is distract away from what's at key issue right now, and it's a big issue. You just heard me talk about micro business and beadwork and all the rest we're doing, our traditional economies. The three provinces, four, in fact, three of them for sure already have said there's more than one Métis Nation now. Alberta's saying there's 5 Métis Nations. Saskatchewan recently sent us a letter. There's Métis Nations now in Saskatchewan. And, of course, in Ontario started all this invasion of the East, bringing all these people that aren't us. They call it ethnogenesis, which is a fancy name for saying there's not one particular nation of a culture that existed, which is not true. The Métis are clearly the Red River. This is where we come from. It's where our flag first flew in 1816. And it's like that gentleman that called about Jean Taillet's book. That's why the history of our people is so important to remember. So they are bringing in a pan-Indigenous organization into the nation, and they're going to start changing who we are. And that's the key. That's why the MMF, I was told by my people, 3,000 delegates told me, you leave, that represent the entire province. They said, you leave the MNC if MNO brings all those people in, and that's exactly what they're doing. So at the end of the day, when you look at this, it's a distraction, they're trying to create some drama by throwing a big number of 16 million. There was a good my cat from my communication team raised it and saw it in the Facebook or some, I don't know, in the IT world anyway, challenging the MNC, saying, well, if there was such, like she was saying, my eyes are wide open and I couldn't believe what I found, and et cetera, right? And then so that person said, well, if there is such a distortion of the finances, money missing, and all this thing you're saying is just scary to see, then why didn't you go to the RCMP? It wouldn't cost you a penny. Why are you spending a bunch of money in a civil court? Because they're trying to use the civil court as a tool to fight and try to bring down the reputation of the MMF and myself, because they know there are thousands upon thousands of people right now as we speak, that are got their citizenship card from Alberta, British Columbia. They're coming by the thousands. They want to belong to the Red River. They want to belong to the MMF. Yeah. They're trying to destroy the name of the MMF now and go after me and after the MMF, right? Because I can assure, and my people know me for that. Look at our audits in 23 years I've been president. They're all public. They're all for everybody to see. And there's never been a financial scandal in the Federation since I've been president. And because I make it very clear, it's transparent, accountable, and there's rules and policies that come with it. The same thing I did at the National. In fact, Ray, I left them a big surplus. They have now using that surplus to hire lawyers to go after me to ruin my name. So, but let me say, we will get to them in the court, and I can't wait to get inside that courtroom. And then I hope that people tear them apart after for what they've done and how they're wasting money, and because we'll account for every penny. And the same people they're trying to hurt, they never even said thank you for the $3.4 billion these staff worked hard to get, that I led, myself and Clement. They weren't at the table, these other four presidents. I was there negotiating for all this money, getting it all for our housing, our education, the money we enjoy today in all the provinces. That was the work of Clement and myself, negotiating with Canada. At the same time, they're trying to hurt our staff. So, it is sad. But at the end of the day, truth will be known, and we will put them in their place. I tell you that. They're not going to ever stray from destroying my name. I worked too hard for it. And the MMF. MMF, their biggest fears, MMF is growing so strong, so big, and the people from all over, including people listening right now, they do listen from the West, and we actually are hiring a staff position to take dialogue with the over 2,000 people that joined already to make sure they have a way of reaching into the Federation to knowing what can be there for them in the future. Anyways, I'll get off that topic, but there's a lot of legal stuff, and I'll be putting a statement of defense in, and I will flush these people out and let the people see it right in front of everybody. And I'd love a debate one day with that new president. I'd love to debate her in public, Mm-hmm. That day will come someplace. Yep. Anyway, so on other notes, we have a bunch of birthdays. I got to get that out of my way. People are actually look forward to this, and because they feel this is a very special time for them, for the world to know, and all the Métis Nation to hear. I'll start off with happy 16th birthday to Emmett Gillespie. I am sure Desiree's listening right now, and of course his father, Sean. I'm sure they're out there listening, and Emmett is very proud 16-year-old Métis boy, and I'm sure they're smiling from year to year as we speak right now. I also want to send out some birthday greetings going out to Cranberry Portage. This is actually coming from Tracy, and I think she's asking me to all of a sudden be her secretary or something, so I got to do her greetings. She's saying happy birthdays out to her brother Jonathan, and happy birthday from myself, also Jonathan Glorian. Happy birthday to Bubs. I'm not sure who Bubs is, but Kelly, and also the Chili. So, and then now another one is now texting me and saying, look, happy birthday, please say to my son, he's 13 now, his name is Derek, and that's where I'm coming from, Buggy. And Buggy has his birthday on February 1st. So happy birthday to both of you. And there's some other birthdays they have, but I'll wait till next week for that one. I also want to say I was I had a good chance to have a chat with a future leader in the First Nation community, and not a future leader, in fact, he's a leader as it is. But he's actually running for council for Norrie House, and I can't wait I hope the people of Norrie House are listening, and if my words have any value, well, I want to say that I'm very impressed with your leader, and I could see very clearly this young man, Tyler Duncan, is going to be a leader of that community, and I'm very impressed with my discussions with him on economics, on the future, and the youth. He's got a very impressive vision, and he came to see how we can work together to share resources, help each other. because there's definitely, that's the message we need to understand amongst all of us, First Nation and Métis. We need to work with each other, support each other's businesses, help each other. And if we do that, just imagine how strong we'll be. So I think it's the young generation have a vision for the future, and I'm looking forward to be part of that. But I want to do compliments again going out to Tyler, and I wish him well in his election, and I hope the people in North give him a chance to show his leadership, and he's going to be a good leader, I tell you that. And same thing with many of my young leaders in the Métis community, and they'll get along very well with him because we have some very progressive leaders in the Métis community. Our youth are very active, and they're very well-spoken, and I can't say enough of them. And even now they took care of their families and still take care of their families during COVID. So, again, Ray, I want to say again to all those people out there, just be proud of who you are, keep who you are, stand to defend who you are because nobody else will. And I want to also express that the good comment I had from Kat and others at the team when we sat around with April and Al and the rest of our team, Zach. And we asked this question, and I ask people to always ask this question to themselves, and then you'll find the answer yourself quite quickly. You know, when you start looking at all these people in Ontario, right, that are doing our Métis beadwork right now, they're doing our prairie flowers, they're doing our fiddle, they're doing our flag. Everybody seems to want to fly the Métis Nation flag, which is owned by the Red River Métis in 1816 here in the first battle. So when you look at it, where's their culture?
Right.
How come they're not doing their own beading of a different design? The prairie flowers belong to the Red River Métis. You know, that's what we're called the flower beaded ones. Want to get their own flag, you know? Want to get their own music.
Right.
You know why? Because they're not Métis. So they're trying to steal our identity by taking our culture and then trying to own it. And that's what people got to understand and watch for and get, because eventually, as they outnumber you, they start to change it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when we were in the United States and I was meeting, and now they're called Chippewa over there, but they're actually the Métis Nation, our people. Last name, same as us. And they are in Belcourt, North Dakota, in that old area, but they call them the Chippewa tribe. But when they dance, they do a powwow jig. So they have the First Nation and the Métis really intertwined. And so, because they don't know who we are, they don't know who they are themselves. So they incorporated a new culture. And so that's their culture now that they've inherited in time. But now they're looking at us. Now they're bringing the fiddle in. Because they are our people. But they didn't know because nobody was there to help them because the United States doesn't recognize such a nation as the Métis. So when you look at it from that context as an example how quickly in time people can change your culture to be somebody else. And that's why I tell the young generation, I'm leaving it on your shoulders later to defend and protect who we are. Let nobody ever steal our identity. Don't let these people like Ontario, MNO, and Alberta president, Saskatchewan president, ever fool you to be there's more than one Métis nation. There could be mixed bloods calling themselves Métis somewhere, just like the Algonquins have mixed blood. They're fighting the part of Ottawa and Quebec over there. They're saying they're Métis nation. They're not us. So they're trying to steal our name now. So when you look at it, I leave that to the young people to remember and think about it. And you ask yourself, like, that's true. Why are they doing our beadwork? Why are they doing our flag? Why aren't they doing our music? Why don't they get their own? Because they never had a culture, Ray. They were so mixed blood and into the system, they didn't have one. So anyway, so again, to all the people out there, keep on working hard. And I hope, I know our trappers hearing me now will be just smiling from year to year. And I want to close off with condolences going out. And I hope the next song, music can be sent out to Jay Cowan, of course, who was close to us at the Federation. He's going to be sadly missed. Elaine, our condolences go from my wife to you and me and our nation, our cabinet. And Jay was with us many times strategically planning sessions as we grow as a federation. And so we have great respect for the work of Jay Cowan and his relationship with the Métis government. I also want to say a special condolences outgoing to Kim Stephen out in the Paul region for the loss of her mother, Lena. So Kim, firstly from me and Glora, our condolences go out to you and your family for your loss of your mother. So again, if I missed anybody out there, condolences go to all those families out there. It's always important that we recognize and honor them, send prayers their way, and they work. Good example, my grandson's still alive, and a lot has to do with people like Helen and Denise and others praying out there, and a lot of people that support me praying out there to bring my grandson home. And I know we prayed for Robert Goodry. They gave him 24 hours, and he was not going to be with us anymore, Ray. He's still here with us a week later. So prayers work. And so I ask people to send prayers out to the people in need and those that have lost loved ones. So take care, everybody, and we'll keep the good work going on at the Federation, and we'll keep on serving our citizens no matter where they live, and Red River will always have your back.
All right.
Okay, take care, guys.
Thanks so much, David.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. David Chartrand, the president of the Manitoba Métis Federation, with his weekly report, Métis Matters. And boy, does he ever